Omnis is looking at you. So, or what's this part of Omni. So, you haven't taken the scroll yet, have you, though?
No.
So, like I said, he's holding the scroll out to you.
I don't want it. That's not my place to do this.
So, but Omni's telling you, it is your place.
No, it was your place. We
So-
can argue about this all day long.
So, if something happens to the multiverse and the scroll's with me, the scroll goes.
It's lost. Yes.
So I am just a watcher right now of it. This was in the book. It was fated. You have surpassed me, for now, until I'm whole. It's like you were the greatest part of me, and it is in the greatest thing that's ever invented, a book. So I cannot think of a better thing to be than a book.
Have you spoke to Highborn?
So he's not allowed to come visit me.
I miss him.
So Highborn has went on across the astral sea. So I am tethered to this world, or I would have went on too. So until you let me go.
I was given an objective.
Just because your story was written doesn't mean that you cannot write some yourself.
Yes.
So
I understand that, but I don't belong here. I belong in your hand.
So Omni's reaching the scroll out to you.
I'll cast Mage Hand.
Okay. So you got it?
Now this right here makes it even more crucial that I complete this task alone. Anybody gets a hold of this and reads it, will spell disaster for everybody.
It's like, do you not have a ritual that you can keep it safe, that always return it to you?
No. To always return it to me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're wanting me to use that ritual, there's no point in even taking it out of your hand because it cast it into the astral plane.
So, at least you know where it's at.
Yeah, I would know where it was at too if you had it, and then I could call it from your hand.
But that's fine if you wish to do it that way. But if
That's
this,
a lot safer than me holding on to it.
But if this section gets destroyed, then the scroll's gone too.
Then it's no different than
No, if it's on you, if it's on you, like that's just if someone would take the scroll, you could then go make it go where you want it to go, and then you could go retrieve it. So here you go, Gandalf. So you're the one that's you're Gandalf.
I know. Well, I mean, this is exactly how this come into play.
So
Frustrated, I just start flipping pages through the book.
just go, just go through.
Mm-hmm. This is.
That's it.
What happens if Thetadolyon is saved when it was never meant to be saved?
That means that.
What would the repercussions be?
That means that you're like a creation has went past what it could be. It's like Thetadolyon's always meant to be the final prison, but at this point, it's like it's become something else.
Yeah. What would it become?
So it would become what the people there wanted to become.
So then the Lady of Pain would create another prison somewhere?
It's a good chance.
good chance.
So this from history point, like a lot of times they said Lady Pain blinks people out of existence or does something. Well, guess where she probably has dumped them. So like I've logically made a place that she's dumped or used or.
I mean, so the actual maze that the Lady of Pain uses is not a so-called maze. It's a whole new planet. It's a whole new world.
It's its own little private realm that you can't get in and out of. You know, if she wants you to be able to get out, she'll put you into the outer planes plane. But if
I mean, if she is casting you someplace for you to run around in circles until the end of your time, she casts you to Thetadolyon. Wow. So Thetadolyon was actually intended to be the worst of the worst.
But every time it's evolved, like right now this is one of the most prosperous, happy section that has ever been. Like remember a lot of the others have come and it's been even worse sounding. So like it's actually not such a bad place. It's got bad things in it, but
it has too many bad things in it.
And you all can end up ridding it.
Let's see, there's Cyric.
Tiamat. That's really all you know.
No, I know of the ninth that has been there.
Well, he's been there. There's a portal in there, but the ninth gets around, but he's not trapped there.
No, he's not trapped there, but Tiamat.
Because like I said, everything that happened with the cards, you know.
Yeah, I mean I wasn't including that.
Just
I was trying to include all the stuff before.
Just the idea of Tiamat and some like that's a lot.
I mean, because Tiamat wants to make Thetadolyon the 10th.
Yeah, because she wants to make it her domain.
I mean, why would she want to take a prison of the Lady of Pains?
Like what better layer of hell it's like than to take a prison
and turn it into a 10th level of hell.
So it's already got all the elements of that it could do, and she's succeeded before, but it was reset. Yeah. You know that's where Sir Charles is. You know the one where he was sort of bad. So it has succeeded a little bit. So the lady. So with your intelligence. I'm going to just not have you roll, but look, when there have been good, like super good people that's been through the resets, the lady's been able to take them out and save them of the destructions. That's why there were some people, you know, like there's people that have been to Thetadolyon before.
So why would Mask target your alter self? To make him a mask puppet.
So Mask doesn't make anyone a puppet. So it's like Mask gets no power over that. So why don't you ask Mask yourself? You have a piece of him.
I did. He talked in riddles.
So do I not talk in riddles? Do you not talk in riddles?
I'm a book.
It's like, are there no such things as riddle books? Mad Labs?
Yeah, but still, I mean...
Great literatures are mostly written in riddles sometimes, or they have things that aren't spelled out. So, but you have his mask there that you could pull through if you want to pull it out and talk to him.
I do. But still, you should know.
Like it's not in my book.
Why would there be a form of you that is of no magic when he was created by Shar? Or not Shar, but Mishra and Azuth. You should have had all forms of magic.
Remember sometimes the ingredients, it's like every one that's made, every time there's a reset, the ingredients are a little different to try to get the outcome.
So you're saying that he was all the rejected ingredients?
So, or maybe maybe they thought instead of being given so much power at birth and freedom, maybe finding the path himself.
Still, wizards such as yourself did not need the path of a warlock. You deserve better than that. Doesn't make any. Does not make sense to me why Mask would target you.
So maybe ask him.
That'll be another day. There's no sense in torturing you with his presence.
Ami leans forward a little bit. She said, "Does he happen to have any books?"
No.
But
He's just a stick figure.
he's like, "Do you happen to have any books? I would really like some stuff to read."
I have me, and you've already read me.
So I read what you do. I don't read you.
Yeah, you're not reading me. You know what lies in me.
And I know what you seek.
Yes.
But sadly, I cannot read what has not come to pass.
Yeah. One of those pages you don't want to read anyway, so. Like I said, I'm trying to save you, not destroy you.
Of course, he's like tempting.
That's exactly why I'm.
he's like, maybe just one.
That's exactly why your soul was ripped and placed in me, is to keep the temptation down. No. That's why I have this big metal skin back here.
It's interesting you say that. It's almost like, it was fated to not be tempted.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. The pieces come together as to why I'm here. But the pieces are not sticking as to why this realm was actually surpassed its life of reset. Here everyone thought that, it would be a good thing, and with the information you're telling me, that's a bad thing.
So, Omni looks and says, maybe the gods took pity, because there's many...
But many gods didn't know this place existed.
So,
it was cast to the side, or...
So, no, it's like, but if it's been reset that many times, remember, what did Omni say? The gods can feel.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have people that worship land, water, dirt, they couldn't talk. Over time, it's seeped out. So every reset, that sort of barrier got a little weaker. And here, hey, you got lots of good. There's all this good there.
Okay, but that's still only the gods that knew of this place. That's not all gods.
Not all gods, but most gods have domains over something. I'm sure there's a god of butterflies out there somewhere. If I looked it up hard enough, and a bunch of people did like butterfly festival.
Or the god of mites or dust mites, like this log back here is now.
I wouldn't want to say anything about the mites.
Thankfully, it's him, not me.
But thankfully, it is you. He's like you got a little. There's like some dust mites crawling on you. It's like you're the. He says, but don't worry, you only have one person that believes in you. It's right here in the book. So I'm like, it's like I believe in you.
Yeah, you believe in me, because I am you, and you are me, and we are Highborn and Vaden. Where do they play the role in this?
What, Highborn and Vaden?
I mean, I know they created me, but there has to be some backstory with them, with you.
Maybe they're the jailers. The question is, who's the warden?
That would probably be the guardian.
like, who is the warden of Thetadolyon? That's a question for another. That doesn't have anything to do with this track here. But since you know a little bit,
I would almost guess it's the Guardian, because he is a whole lot more powerful than he lets on.
So, or maybe he's like the head. Maybe he's like the head jailer.
Maybe. Now I really have to make sure nobody gets to me. And I'll take the scroll and I tuck it in the robe.
Okay. So it's like Opus, you may be our only hope someday.
You say that now. Let's see what it's like tomorrow.
It's like you have the power of creation. It's like at least we know that you won't be tempted by it. And that is true from the point of view of everything's going on. It's like, it's not like, you didn't go down the path of anger, or didn't go down the path of maybe it'd be better. It's like you're true neutral. So
since you was meant to be the speaker of pain, right now I'm carrying that same path. What do I have to do to convince the Lady of Pain to give me that page? What do I have to show to her that I mean no ill intent towards her, Sigil, Thetadolyon, the multiverse? My true intentions is to rid Sirik.
I don't know. It's not in my book here. So
I cast Mage Hand and I smack him.
It's like you sort of go through his astral form. He's a little wavy. He said, well, maybe you're a little bit more ill-tempered than I thought.
No, you're supposed to know answers.
You're
like, supposed to have answers. You brought me here.
So I brought you here so that way.
You brought me here so I can reset the entire multiverse.
That you might.
No.
So if needed.
If needed, yes.
So is the job of the Speaker of Pain.
Yes.
So the Lady of Pain has reset the multiverse before.
Yes.
And she's reset Thetadolyon
every 1,000 years.
So
for the past 5,000 years that I know of.
That you need to know of. So yes. So sometimes it doesn't make it to 5,000 or 1,000 years.
It made it to 1,000 and almost one this time.
So now it is 1,001. The current. So Omni's like, I'm having trouble keeping my form. So I wish you luck, but do not forget all the tools that you have amassed, because you have plenty of tools for more information. So just remember, sometimes you have to create an answer with the variables that you've been given.
Yeah, but I cannot ask those books questions.
So, but you happen to know someone that might know what they're for. So it says it here, 10 pages back, right here. So the choice is yours.
I have someone that might know what the books are for.
Or if someone asked you to get one of them.
Yeah, but that does not mean that she has the best intentions for those books.
Do you have the best intentions for her?
All I wanted was a way to get to the Lady of Pain.
So
I know.
And it says right here, she promised you something to help.
I know that. But what would she use with that book? How would she use that book?
It's a problem for a different day.
That's what worries me.
So, but here's the thing: if there's not another day, what's it matter? Sometimes all you can do is solve one problem at a time.
Yeah, there's multiple problems.
And by not solving problems, the other problems get bigger.
No, that was not the books I was actually speaking of. I was actually speaking of the Book of Questions and the Book of Answers.
So maybe it's the book of judgment and punishment.
For Vaden and Highborn it was.
Yeah. You ever wonder what questions and answers they ever asked?
Often.
So,
Speaking of that, I wonder if they've ever been to the library in Sigil. I guess that's a question for the library.
It's possible. That's actually not a bad idea, but
unless you know, but then again, you said you've not spoke to Highborn. He can't talk to you. Has Vaden spoke to you?
I can't speak to him either. I only can speak to those
of you
that my tethers have touched in a certain way.
How have you been touching people on me?
So, very careful.
The bards would be proud. Alright, so I have this scroll. I can reset the multiverse at any time. What else does Speaker of Pain entitle?
So that's a question for the lady. All I know is what's in the book.
Well, at least now I know a way to get to her. Having this scroll entitles that.
Good help.
Also entitles that she's not going to cast me into the...
She'll just cast you back later on. It'd be funny. Or, unless she's done something else. You know, so she doesn't have the prison that she did, since it's open.
But still, having this scroll, she's going to know who I am, what I am. And I guess I just need to explain to her why I'm there. What else can you tell me? What else do you know that I don't know, that I need to know? That you don't know, that I know, that I don't know, that you know. Aldi knows.
I was born on a Wednesday. So says the book.
Vague. Just like I remember you. I guess you sit in a library all day long here in the abyss and read all the books.
This is the only book I have. And as you all do things, it tells the story of what you all are doing. It's very similar to the books of Bellamy, but a little bit more detailed.
Alright, yeah. When I leave here, where do I go back to?
You'll go back to where you were.
Standing in the street.
Yeah, you'll be back because it's a portal. So
So, did you open this portal? Or did the
the portal...
pain servant open?
All portals in Sigil, sometimes you're on a portal and you don't know it. If you don't have the right password or elements or keys. So you triggered the portal.
So that means I can trigger this portal again.
If you know how you triggered it in the first place. There are sometimes conditions. Sometimes there are certain times of the day. Sometimes there's this. Sometimes there's multiple conditions. But Omni leans forward and it's like you were meant to step on the portal.
Yeah.
So, but don't forget, I am always with you.
Mm-hmm.
And don't you have divination?
Where I can speak to?
Well, do you have divination spell, the ritual? Does Gain talk to like a celestial type being?
A
god.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of divination spells. That's what I'm saying.
But divination, the spell, divination.
I can. Yeah, I can speak to.
Then you can speak to him.
Yeah.
So you actually, with divination ritual, it's like you can speak to him.
I didn't know you was classified as a god.
No, it's celestials or different types of beings and stuff like that. It's not just a god. But we have a connection, so you can do a divination through the thread. So from one wizard to another, Omni has told you that you can do divination to be able to speak to him.
Yeah, now to get back on task.
And Omni's like, are you sure you don't have any books in that cloak of yours? Sometimes little details are missing. I was like, I would be glad to read something.
Only if you can read in cipher.
Oh, well, you have some books.
I've got 3 books, but you would have to cipher them.
It's like, do you want to leave the other 2 books with me?
Oh, you speak of me taking the Book of Shar.
Oh, that's the only book that Shemeska cares about, so it says it here on this page.
Yeah. I'd still like to know what's in this book.
He said, well, I do have some time. Twiddling my thumbs only goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, he's offering to hold the books.
The 2 books or all 3 books? I know Shemeska only cares about the one, but...
It's like, do you want Shemeska to even know you have the other 2 books?
No. Shemeska was not going to find out I had the other 2 books. She didn't ask for the other 2 books. So that was not part of the agreement.
So Omni, being Omni, says, I will gladly look at those books.
Can you decipher them?
It might take some time.
Time is but an essence. So.
Yes, but it's like, I might have time that you do not.
Well, I definitely don't have time. I have to...
So, yeah, and so at this point, though, you'll have to make a choice whether to give it to Shemeska or not.
Mm-hmm.
But Omni's...
All right, well,
Omni is willing to take the 2 books and attempt to decipher them.
Okay, well, before I do that, I'm going to cast Augury.
Okay. So read the full description of Augury.
I'm going to ask... oh, man. I don't know the full. I know exactly what it does, but... I receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take. DM chooses the possible omens, well, woe, well and woe, or nothing. And well is for good, woe is bad, well and woe both good and bad.
I'll just tell you which one.
You tell me well and woe. I mean, this can only be a well and woe question. I mean,
so you're going to ask a question you want me to answer? Well,
in either well or woe, yes. I mean, so by giving this book to Shemeska, will it be used for good or evil?
That's a funny question. Good or evil that affects you?
Good or evil, period.
Oh, it'll be used for evil.
That's
It's a woe. But the question is, does it affect you or not?
That's what I was worried about. I mean, is how the intentions of the book being used.
She could use it to rob people blind, for all you know, or maybe she wants to be a priest of Shar. There's all these things. So the question is, does it affect you, or is it just, does it affect Shemeska? Everything. So
that's what I was afraid of.
it's a woe, but is it a multiversal woe?
Yeah.
Is it just a Sigil woe? Mm-hmm. Is it just a certain person's woe? Mm-hmm. It's definitely a woe on the demon that she took it from.
I mean, a demon stealing from a demon. That's
but you don't get much more chaotic than that.
Yeah.
They're not honorable. They're not very honorable. Of course, devils are always looking to knock over other devils too. Yeah. So
yeah, but at least a devil has guidelines. A demon.
Yeah, like a demon is.
So. Omni, what do you know of Shemeska?
She's foxy. So says the book.
And so says my mask.
And it also says don't say anything about her ears.
Yeah. So.
Didn't say anything about her tail.
Grab life by the tail.
Her teeth are apparently really sharp. Say her claws are too.
I'm sure. I really hate to know what kind of bad she can do with that book, but
she was probably doing bad before you ever got here, and she would probably do bad once you're gone.
I mean,
it's like
a lawful evil, a neutral evil. I mean, I really don't see it getting any worse than either one of them. I don't think there is worse than evil.
Neutral evil, probably, if you really get deep about it, it's probably
the worst of the worst.
Probably like even though some people say chaotic, at least chaotic, you understand. It's like they're always just going to do whatever. But the fact is that neutral evil, you just do evil. Yeah. Just to do it.
And a lawful evil, I mean.
And like
you live law of evil.
Yeah,
but I mean
you still
neutral
have
evil.
rules or you do certain things. But usually lawful evil just doesn't just commit murder for no reason.
No, but a neutral evil.
But neutral is like, oh, you walked in front of me or I stumbled, I'll do it. Chaotic is just like, yeah. So again, did you give the 2 other books to him? So he's got 2 books. He says that book is yours. So
what can you tell me of these 2 books already? I mean, is there anything you know about them?
I really like the covers. And he's like, he opens it up and he's like, ooh, new book smell.
Spoken like a.
He's like, he starts rubbing the pages. He's like, oh, paper.
Spoken like a true Omni.
It's like, it's been too long.
I forgot what it's like to have you stroke my pages.
Yeah, so he's like flipping the pages, hearing the sounds, because the other book is like more like an astral book.
Yeah, I didn't want to hand you those books because I remember how you are. As soon as you get a book in your hand, you forget about everything.
He's like at this point, you've noticed he's turned around. He's like looking through the pages. He's not paying any attention to you.
Yeah, see, that's why I was holding off on giving you the books. Okay, all right. I go back and I enter bad because there's no point in even talking to you anymore.
It's like, oh, he's checked out.
All right, I'll go now since you don't care about anything else but those 2 books I gave you.
So you notice that he's like smelling the pages.
I'll walk over and kick him in the shin.
He sort of floats through again, sort of whiffs.
Yeah.
So he didn't even pay any attention.
Of course not.
He's just sort of flipping through. Did you notice though a little like an astral quill and paper is up? So like he's like studying and doing stuff. So.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
He just sort of nods.
Bye.
So, and poof, you were